cloth outside. So keep looking at it. Never expose yourself to tribulation, to temptation. So hold it. Because you need your energy to serve God. So desire comes about through perceptions, visual perception, contact, sensation, desire. That's the process of it.
And then there's the whole backlog of memory of that in the past to reinforce it.
Yes.
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 I was taken with what you just said. Here's this book that's already outside me.
Yes.
It's really no more than what they put on horses when they run a race.
Blinkers.
Yes. Blinkers.
The Bible becomes a blinker.
Bible. The blinking Bible. Yes. I follow that. But the thing that caught me was never quietly looking at it.
No, that's it, sir.
The desire itself. Yes.
I walked once behind a group of monks in India, and they were very serious monks. The elderly monk, with his disciples round him, they were walking up a hill, and I followed them. They never once looked at the beauty of the sky, the blue, the extraordinary blue of the sky in the mountains, and the blue light of grass and the trees and the birds and the water. Never once looked around. They were concerned, and they had bent their head down, and they were repeating something, which I happen to know in Sanskrit, and going along, totally unaware of the nature, totally unaware of the passers-by, because their whole life has been spent in controlling desire and concentrating on what they thought is the way to reality. So desire there acted as a repressive, limiting process.
Of course. Yes.
Because they were frightened. If I look, there might be a woman. I might be tempted. And cut it. So, we see what desire is, and we see what appetite is. They're similar.
Yes. Would you say appetite was a specific focus of desire?
Yes, put it that way. Yes.
All right.
But they're both go together.
Oh, yes.
They're not they're two different words for the same thing. Now, a problem arises. Need there be a control of desire at all? You follow, sir?
Yes, I'm asking myself, because in our conversations, I've learned that every time you ask a question, if I take that question and construe it in terms of a syllogistical relation to things that have been stated as premises before, I'm certainly not going to come to the answer that is not the right answer as over against the wrong answer. I'm not going to come to the one answer that is needful. So every time you've asked me this morning, I have asked myself inside. Yes, please go ahead.
So that, you see, the discipline is a form of suppression and control of desire. Religious, sectarian, non-sectarian, it's all based on that. Control. Control your appetite, control your desires, control your thought. And this control gradually squeezes out the flow of free energy. I don't know if I can...
Oh, yes, yes, yes. And yet, amazingly, the Upanishads in particular have been interpreted in terms of tapas as encouraging this control.
I know,
yes.
I know. I mean, in India, it is something fantastic. The monks that who have come to see me, they're called sannyasis, they have come to see me. They're incredible. I mean, if I can tell you, a monk who came to see me some years ago, quite a young man, he left his house and home at the age of 15 to find God. And he had renounced everything, put on the robe. And as he began to grow older, at 18, 19, 20, sexual appetite was something burning. He explained to me how it became intense. He had taken a vow of celibacy, as sannyasis do, monks do. And he said, day after day, in my dreams, in my walk, in my going to house, begging, this thing was becoming so like a fire. Do you know what he did to control it?
No, no. What did he do?
He had it operated.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Is that a fact?
Sir, no. His urge for God was so, you follow, sir?
Yes.
The idea, not the reality.
Not the reality, no.
So he came to see me. He had heard several talks which had given that place. He came to see me in tears. He said, now what have I done? You follow, sir?
Oh, I'm sure, yes.
What have I done to myself? I cannot repair it. I cannot grow a new organ. It's finished. And he was insane. That's the extreme. But it is, all control is in that direction. I don't know if I'm...
Yes, this is terribly dramatic. The one who's sometimes called the first Christian theologian, Origen,
yeah.
Castrated himself.
Yeah.
Out of, as I understand it, a misunderstanding of the words of Jesus. If your hand offends you, cut it off.
I mean, that's authority incredible. To me is criminal in these directions. Doesn't matter who says it.
And like the monk that you just described, Origen came later to repent of this in terms of seeing that it has nothing to do with anything. It's just a terrible thing. Well, was this monk, if I may ask, also saying to you in his tears that he was absolutely no better off in any way, shape, or form?
No. On the contrary, he said, I've committed a sin. I've committed an evil act.
Yes, yes, of course, yes.
He realized what he had done.
Yes.
That through that way, I mean, there is nothing.
Nothing.
No, I've met so many, not such extreme forms of control and denial, but others. They have tortured themselves for an idea. You follow, sir?